Hey guys, it is Erin or Gimme Yarn 418 and I am here with TGIF. Thank God it's finished. I have a few things to show you today. A few things to tell you about that I finished and a couple things to talk to you about. So first, I have made 6 pairs of duffers. I think you saw 3 or 4 of them. They've all been felted and they're now drying. I went down to check, but they were just still a little bit too wet for me to bring upstairs. So I'll show you those next week. And the other thing I finished was I finished a whole bunch of Ziggy hats, and those have been mailed off to their new owners. Yeah. So that's everything I have that's that's everything I finished that's not here. What I do have is, as I told you, my sister is expecting her first child in November. It is November. This month. And Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and I wanted to make a couple holiday themed hats for her. So the first hat I made is a little turkey hat. There's no pattern for this. I have seen pictures. I have seen pay-for patterns for something very similar, but I just winged it. I don't know which one it is. And the other one, Margaret, I believe, made a hat very similar to this with her Addie. And I made a little Santa and his belt hat. And I don't know, this seems like all wonky. It's not, though. So there. That's really cute. So that'll be one style and holiday baby. The next thing I have is knit out of this yarn. Whoa. That's really blurry. Sorry about that. And I used 2 balls of this, and they're the same color and the same lot number. I have crafty OCD, which many of you know, and I like things to be just so. I don't do well when things don't match perfectly, and this yarn was really nice to knit with. It had a nice feeling as you were knitting with it. It feels nice in the finished objects, but so these are the Groovy socks with the top-down OMG heel. And maybe you can see what I'm talking about. No, this one. This sock has a boatload of pink in it. And when I bought the socks, all I could see was the pink and the black. This sock has brown and gray and purple and green and white. I don't understand it. My toes match, though, I'm noticing, kind of, sort of. So I do ultimately like these socks to wear, as long as I don't have to look at them. And I will also say that these balls are very small, and I have a size 5 foot, and I had to do a very short cuff, and I had to do a contrasting heel. So, Groovy socks, which is a free pattern, OMG heel, which is a pay-for pattern. My last finished object is Deweys Christmas Stocking. This is knit out of Yates wool that I purchased last year, which is the local sheep farm. And that is out of this. It's a modification out of a stocking out of this book. I used the chart and some directions from this, but I modified it to be knit in the round, and I knit the name right into the sock instead of duplicate stitching it on. That's all my finished objects. Works in progress, I have 1. I still have the Ginny cardigan, but that's been put on the back burner because I really need to focus on holiday knitting and knitting for, I have a craft show the first week of December that I've done. This will be my 4th year, 5th year, I think. So I only have 1 project currently that I'm currently working on. And this is the Basic Rib Socks by Kate Atherley. I used this yarn. I'm using this yarn, which is really cool. I saw it on a podcast and then stalked the D-stash on Ravelry to try and find some for myself. And ultimately I ended up ordering it from someone in Australia, which is funny because I think this yarn is made in the United States, so somebody bought it from the United States, shipped it to Australia, then I bought it from the person in Australia, and they shipped it back to the United States. Anyway, this is the beautiful yarn. Well, that's what we'd call it back home, yarn. It's the beautiful yarn, and this is the sock so far. I just barely started it last night. So yeah. I've never done a fully ribbed sock, so I'm either gonna love it or hate it. Those are for Kristen. And I'm working on quilting a quilt top that you've seen with some sheep on it, and that's about it. So next is stash. Oh, yeah, we'll do stash enhancement, I guess. I won a giveaway by Knittables for this bag, which I didn't bring the card up. I think it's Black Dog bags. Does she have a tag on it? Look inside. Ooh, there's a tag. There's a tag. Black dog bag. Brown dog bags. Brown dog bags. So I went to the post office and I said, this feels a lot heavier than a bag. And it was. As I mentioned last week, Kristen and I have some things going on. And Diane wanted to send me a little pick-me-up. So, and I cried. She left a note saying that maybe I could make something for Kristen. So, this are the extras she sent me, which, good golly. This 3 skeins are by another crafty girl. This is their Twinkle sock, and the color is Grover, and how freaking adorable is that? Ugh. And it sparkles. She also sent me Twinkle sock in the color Gonzo. I have been coveting another crafty girl, but haven't had the opportunity to try it, so. And then she sent merino worsted in the color Night Fury, which Kristen saw this immediately and said, I want a hat, which is perfect because I'm supposed to make her something. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do in terms of a hat. I don't know. I might do a hat she already has that she really likes, but just in this color. It's nice. It has black and just enough of that lime green color. And the last thing she sent me is another one that I've been dying to try, but just haven't had the opportunity to. Put it back together. And this is by the Unwind Yarn Company. It's Expedition Sport, and the color is Brilliantly Bold. And isn't it so awesome? I don't know if this stripes or it's variegated, but either way, it's like pure awesome. So, yeah, that was just way above and beyond. Like I said, I cried. So that's all I have for stash enhancement. The other thing I have to show you is Kristen made me a painting. And it's so adorable. It's so stinking cute. You guys are going to laugh. Everybody's going to want it, so maybe I shouldn't show it. But it hasn't been sealed yet, and I forgot to buy a frame when I went to the grocery store today. So here is Black Comma Sheep, and he's gotten in a little bit of trouble. And his inmate number is K1P1. Isn't it just adorable? My God. I love it. And we did some research to find out how tall sheep are. So he's only 3 feet tall, because the average female sheep is 3 feet tall. So that's by my love, and I love it, and I can't wait to frame it and hang it up and look at it all the time. It's amazing. So, I do have notes. That's what I keep looking down at. Next up meaning, what am I going to be doing next? The first thing I'm going to be doing next is making a ton of stuff for my craft show, because I have absolutely nothing. Nothing. And this is usually my biggest show of the year. Actually, it's only my second show this year because online's just been too busy. The other next things up will be, I have 3 more stockings to knit, which I can knit one in about 3 days. Finish my Ginny cardigan, which probably won't happen until after that craft fair, because that's you have to concentrate on that, and it's fun knit, but you just have to concentrate. Christmas holiday knitting, which I think all I have left is some mittens. Mittens, and hats. 2 pairs of mittens and 2 hats. And the next thing is, do you guys remember this yarn? Fable Fibers. I got it in the Stockinette Zombies birthday kit. Well, I live in Vermont, and I just bought my first winter coat since I moved here 5 years ago. And I searched for said coat by trying to figure out which would go with most of my knitwear, rather than having knitwear that matches the coat. So I bought a black coat. And I am going to be oh man, it just disappeared. I'm going to be knitting the Knotted Pine, which is a pay-for pattern on Ravelry, and this is what it looks like, but mine will be red. So I'm looking forward to that. I think this will probably, well, I just turned really yellow. I don't know what happened. What happened? That was bizarre. I don't know if I'll start this before Thanksgiving. I hope to, because it's a soft yarn, and now I have a new coat to wear in the winter. And that's it. So a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. First, I have made a list of suggestions everybody made for videos, and I will be going through and doing some, if not all of these. I'm looking at the list. The only one I don't know if I can do is Christmas ornaments I've made, because I've only made one. Isn't that horrible? And the last thing I wanted to share with you is, I think it's no secret that I love sock yarn, and I love nice sock yarn, and sock yarn is ridiculously expensive. And I shouldn't even say that, because it's not ridiculously expensive, because if you think of when a hand dyer dyes yarn, how much time and effort goes into dyeing that yarn, it's not, I mean, just their time alone is worth the price of the skein. But I never, ever finish the skein of yarn. I have all these beautiful bits left over. So I've been looking for a while. This is my birthday sock yarn. I've been looking for a while for something to put my leftover sock yarn in, so that I can look at it and I can enjoy it, and I can, it's so pretty. Originally I thought I wanted to get like just a round cylinder to put it all in. And I found that today. And then I looked to the left in the clearance, and I found something even better. And I'm hoping this is going to show. And this was $10 at TJ Maxx, and it's just a big, I don't know, it's a bowl. It's a bowl. It's handmade in Poland. And I found it at TJ Maxx. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to not make a mess. I'm going to ball up nicely all my sock yarn and put it in there so I can see and I can remember and not feel like I'm wasting this, because I have little feet and I have a lot of sock yarn left over and not enough to knit a full pair of socks. Sometimes I knit myself socks and baby socks and still have a bunch left over, so I'm gonna put it in here. And it's going to be pretty, and I'm going to put it on the table between my knitting chairs. And it's going to be beautiful, and then it'll also be there, so if I do find a scrappy project, I have yarn everywhere now, a scrappy project that I want to work on, I know exactly where to go, and it'll be nice, and it'll be tidy, and it'll be beautiful. So I think that's all I have. In fact, I know that's all I have. Like I said, I will be doing some of these videos. There were some great suggestions, and keep the suggestions coming. If I can do it, I will do my best. If I can't do it, I'll just tell you I can't do it. So that's all I have for this time. So I hope you're all doing well, and until next time, bye.